Welcome to Innovations Driving the Leading Edge of Healthcare. I'm delighted today to speak with you and have an opportunity to share some of the insights we have in the innovation that's coming in healthcare. And today I'm going to tell you a story about the healthcare practices and practitioners that we work with all across the country that have given us a bird's eye view into some of these innovations that are happening. In this main story, there's always a character. And the character in our story today is the pendulum of healthcare. Now, the pendulum of healthcare shifted hard in one direction over the last century. And with that shift, some good things happened, but also some really catastrophic things happened to our healthcare. And I'm going to share those with you today. But before I get into that, the good news is the shift is changing, and it's coming back in another direction that I'm going to share with you. My job today is not to demonize the pharmaceutical industry or doctors, but we can't talk about what's happened to our healthcare system without identifying some of the root cause problems that brought us here. If these known factors of optimum health have been around for ages, okay, they help us physically, mentally, and emotionally. For decades, for centuries, we've done this. And if Mom knew it, common sense says it, Hippocrates said it, and Popeye, of course, said it. So what happened to our healthcare system? So most of us, everybody in this room actually, has grown up in conventional medicine. This is the only medicine we've known, right? This is it. But conventional medicine as we know it has only been around for a century, since 1913. Not that long. So before that, we were doing all of those things, focusing on all those 8 key factors. So what happened was healthcare as a profession and a calling, and these clinicians that were looking at themselves as healers, that pendulum swung hard and turned healthcare as a business. So with opportunity, because there's been tremendous advancements in not only technology on the medical side, but also in human health and healing, it created a tremendous business opportunity. So that pendulum swung hard. And with the business as an industry of healthcare, it also brought a bunch of network of industries, including pharmaceutical companies, insurance companies, medical schools, and huge healthcare systems. So again, this is conventional medicine as we know it. I like to refer to it as symptom-based. And symptom-based means you go to the doctor, what's wrong with you? Guess what happens next? You get a prescription. Conversely, the other side of the pendulum, where the clinicians came from before healthcare turned into a business and has a calling, is focused in root cause medicine. So root cause medicine, they're looking at the whole system of the body. They're looking at it all in totality, not just the head, not just the gut, not just the brain. They're looking at it in the whole spectrum of this individual that's coming to see them and treat them, not just the symptom or the diagnosis. So this is where the pendulum swung, business as healthcare. Sorry, healthcare as business, but we're seeing some trends that are moving in the right direction. So there's hope. So there's always consequences to this, right? So those bubbles that were bright orange last time now are grayed out. I want you to think now about the last time you went to your doctor and you had a visit with your doctor. Of these 8 attributes of optimum health and wellness, how many of those did your doctor ask you about? Did your doctor ask you if you're getting enough sleep? Probably, they usually ask that one. Did they ask you if you have a sense of purpose? So I'm not gonna go through all of them, but just think about that in terms of your own relationship with your doctor and how interested he or she is in being able to tap into some of those 8 attributes of optimum health. Probably went something more like this. You went in, you spent 15.7 minutes, you quickly told him what was wrong. He quickly went through his Rolodex in his brain, thinking about the prescription drug that he was going to write to shut down the symptoms. It's usually what happens, rinse and repeat, or you had a conversation about surgery. Typically, there's not many conversations that are had about why. You're in with complaining about heart disease. I'm going to write you a statin. I'm not going to try to figure out why you have heart disease because I've got 5 other patients that I need to see in an hour. Again, it's business, it's healthcare as a business. And this is now shifting, and we're seeing it every single day in our work. So let's hear what the CDC has to say about this. This is not just me, this is the CDC. Let's hear what they have to say about it. These numbers are staggering. So currently right now, 117 million people have one or more chronic health condition. A chronic health condition is defined as an illness that lasts for more than 1 year and needs ongoing medical help. Well, in 1965, only 4% of the entire population had a chronic disease. That was 55 years ago. What in the world is going on? How is this happening? And worse, 46% of our children have chronic illnesses. So now let's talk about the pharmaceuticals that are written, the drugs. From 1997 to 2016, 4.5 billion prescriptions were written. That was an 85% increase year over year from 1997. But the population only rose by 21% during that time. I'm not a math whiz, but what is happening? Is pharmaceutical part of the business of healthcare? I see some people nodding, it's okay. Yeah, it is. Anybody heard of Johns Hopkins? Johns Hopkins has identified that medical errors is the 3rd leading cause of death. It's not a mystery. We know why this is happening. It's happening because there's no time, because healthcare is a business. And you can tell I'm pretty passionate about this, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. So the great news is the pendulum is swinging the other direction. Okay, I was talking to Dawn. Yes, I was talking to Dawn a few minutes ago before this started. And we were discussing about the shortage of healthcare practitioners, doctors, and nurses. You've all heard about the healthcare shortage, yeah? Okay. Well, they're not leaving medicine. They're just leaving conventional medicine because they realize that their patients are not getting better. I talked to a doctor the other day that's been in the business for 40 years. And he said, my patients are sicker than they've ever been. And as a doctor, that's disgusting. And there's nothing I can do about it. So they're leaving conventional medicine in droves. They're tired of being overworked, underappreciated, not having a work-life balance, not making any money. They can't. And their patients are getting sicker and sicker and sicker. And the patients are sick and tired of being sick and tired. I've been there. So the good news is that pendulum is swinging the other direction again. Hallelujah. Because they're putting themselves in a position where they're looking at taking control of their health again, being able to heal at the levels that they can have some control over. And the good news is that they finally have a doctor or doctors or a team of doctors that are looking at their whole body systems, not just the diagnosis. So this leads me into now, here we are in 2022, and we started our healthcare company. My business partner over here, Rich Hoffman, and I started this company in 2019, and we wanted to turn our passion and purpose into a profession. And we didn't start MindBody Talent just because we wanted to be great healthcare recruiters, although we are pretty darn good at it. We want to do our part because we are passionate about helping this pendulum swing back to the direction it needs to go. To be able to put the hands and the control and the care back in the patients and the practitioners. That's how we can do our part. We're not clinicians, not doctors, but we hear this stuff all day long, and we want to be able to do our part. So we work with functional and integrative medicine practices all over the country to help them find the talent. So those conventional medicine people that are leaving, trying to find them placed in functional medicine, root cause medicine. So I really appreciate your time today, your energy, and obviously, hope you enjoyed some of these ideas I found worth sharing. Thanks.